everybody, Time Factor here. This video is to provide some information on how my audio is configured on my PC, what programs I use, how I've got them configured, what the concept is, what the goal is. So hopefully this will be helpful for some people. I had a couple people ask me already, so I figured I'd create this video because it's a lot easier than typing it in chat on stream and that. So this will, at least I'll be able to refer people to it. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy. All right, so first up, we're going to talk about an actual audio or software audio mixer, which I use. It's called VoiceMeeter Banana. The website will be linked down in the description, so have a look at that if you want to go there. I'll bring it up here on my screen now. So this is the website. Now there's a couple of different versions. There's a standard VoiceMeeter and then there's the Banana version. The difference is basically a feature set. There's more channels on the Banana version, stuff like that. So if you don't really need like the full feature set, then maybe VoiceMeeter, the standard version would be good enough. Personally, I recommend going with the Banana version because then you have the full feature set. And again, this is free software. And if you really enjoy using this software, I definitely recommend donating to the creator. There's a link in the software you can go to do that, and I think on this webpage as well, a little bit further down, but we're not going to get into that right now. So there's a lot of stuff in here. There's the EQ you can configure. There's an actual mixtape, as you can see up here, which you can basically record to MP3. I believe it is. Might be Wave, I can't remember, but I don't really use that feature. But yeah, so it's there. You can read into it if it's something you're going to use. But yeah, so this is basically what it looks like, as you can see on here. So you've got your 3 different channels, then you got your main and an auxiliary main. Well, in your virtual inputs, I should say. And you have them all down here. You also have a B1, B2. So, and I'll show you how mine is set up so that you have a better understanding on how I use this anyways in my configuration. So yeah, so that's the software, and if you can look here, this gives you a really good example on it, how they've got this set up. So this is one option, right? They got a headset on one channel, an audio cable on another channel, another microphone on a different channel. Then they've got their video game coming in on the default input, and then Skype on the auxiliary. So that way you can control volume levels independently, all that kind of stuff. It's really, really useful. I really enjoy it. It's made my setup possible. If without this, I'd have to go and buy an actual physical mixer and get all the cables and all that stuff and get all rerouted. Not really interested. Although I could do it, but I don't want to if I don't have to. So anyways, you can look at this website, get a lot of more details on the software. Now, a second piece, if you don't have enough audio interfaces on your box for what you want to do, for example, like they showed here, right? If you look here, there's a VB audio cable. Well, that's a virtual interface that you can assign programs to use. So that's another piece of their software. They make it. And here's the website on the same page for it. And it's basically virtual audio cables. They give you one for free. So you can create one virtual interface for free. After that, they ask that you donate. And once you donate, I think you get an extra 2 you can add to it, which is great. But honestly, I only needed one, so I didn't really do anything here, and I'm already donating for the Banana software, so I didn't bother for this piece. It's the same guy, same company, so I gave enough on one since I knew I wasn't going to be using this really a lot. So yeah, so that's what that software is. And let me just move these over here, and I'll actually show you the actual program. All right, so the program itself, here is what's running on my PC. As you can see, I've got my microphone, which is the Yeti over here, and it is configured on hardware input number 1, which I've renamed to microphone or mic. And as you can see, as I talk, you can see the UV meter going up and down, and here's my dB level and all that stuff. Now, the way that this works, and you'll notice, is I've got A1, A2, A3, B1, B2. So whatever one's highlighted is where you're routing your audio to. So to set it up here, you just click on it and choose which device you want to put in there. So again, I chose my WDM microphone Yeti. There's also an MME version, but honestly, if you can, I'd recommend using the WDM. If you don't have that on your system, then you might only have an option for MME for your mic. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, just runs better, I find. I notice a difference between the two anyways. So I'm running everything in 48,000 hertz, just to get that better quality. But it's up to you guys. 44,000 is fine too. I mean, it's really depends what you want to do. All right, so over here in the top right is your hardware out. So this is where you want the sound to go. So as you can see, A1 I have set to my Yeti microphone, because on the bottom of my Yeti, it has a built-in sound card. So it's USB, of course. And on the bottom of the Yeti, I've got basically a headset out, which is where these guys are plugged in right now. So I have my A1 set to the USB sound card that's in my Yeti. And that's my default sound device, basically. So any sound I want to go to my headset, I make sure I click A1. So for example, if I click A1 on my microphone, now I'm hearing myself talk in my ears, which is annoying. So let me turn that off. But yeah, so I can choose by clicking the button what is rerouted to my headset, which is independent of everything else, right? So now I can actually have specific audio to my headset, which nothing else on my system hears, which is awesome. And that's really what you want to do. Second one are my speakers, which are my system speakers. So for example, if I turn that on here, then you're going to start hearing that double, right? Because now it's coming out on my system speakers, as well as to everything else, including this recording that you're hearing right now. And then the last one is my Elgato link, which is basically HDMI to my streaming PC. So what that does is it basically allows me to send my microphone audio, which as you can see, A3, if you look in here, A3 is selected as enabled for my mic. If I turn this off, then you'll see that you won't hear me anymore. So as you can see, you can't hear me when I click that button. So yeah, so that's basically what that does. So that sends my microphone audio to my Elgato. And again, so these are just selectables. You get every device that's in your system. You'll see it here. You choose which one for A1, A2, A3. And with those selections, then you can define which channels you put where. So in my case, my microphone is on my channel 1. Channel 2, I wasn't using. I am now, but I'll show you guys that at the end when we start talking about 2 PC streaming setups. And here, hardware input 3 is the cable. So on this one, I have like Mumble. So my Mumble's running right now. Nobody's on the server, so I don't have anybody to talk to. But if somebody comes in, then you'll see this thing here start moving. And as you can see, Mumble's being sent to my streaming PC, which is through the Elgato on A3. If I turn that off, basically what's going to happen is the stream, or in this case the recording, again I'm recording all this on a second PC through my Elgato, they won't hear what my folks on Mumble are saying. So I can mute my actual conversations and not have to worry about it picking up on stream. It's really good for when you're doing like talk shows, stuff like that, where you want to go into an intermission, then you start the intermission up, you mute your microphone, you mute your voice application, and you guys can still continue talk about what's going to come up next after the break, without everybody out there waiting for the break to end to hear, like they don't hear what you're saying, right? So that's pretty much what that's for. Now over here you've got your main, which basically is your virtual inputs. So your VoiceMeeter VIO is basically your main device, and then you have an auxiliary. So the way I use that in my setup, and I'll show you here under my sound, is see here, my default speakers on my system in the Windows device or sound manager is the VB Audio VoiceMeeter VIO. So this channel right here. So, and I'll show you here how that works. Let me just start up a song. So as you can see, the music that's currently playing is on this channel here, because it's using my default device, right? So again, here it's the same thing. So I choose, I want to hear the music in my headset, so A1 is turned on. I turn that off, I don't hear the music anymore. You guys are hearing it right now because I'm sending it to my streaming PC. It's my streaming/recording PC. If I turn that off, you don't hear it anymore, but I still do. So that's pretty much how that works. So let me turn this off here. I'm using royalty-free music that's allowed on YouTube, by the way. There's a playlist of it on YouTube you can use, so I'm doing that just to keep myself safe for the copyright strikes and stuff like that. So that's what that is. So yeah, so that's basically what that is for. The auxiliary is the same kind of deal. You can use it for pretty much anything you want to do in that regards. I don't really use it in my environment, so it's just there, but if I ever decide I need it for something, then at least I have it available. So yeah. And then down here is your master section where you can mess around and do an EQ and all that stuff. So that's the default setup. Using this, you can pretty much get the sound routed to wherever you need it to go. And is this the same thing like for who was it? That was DRC, Dr. Cool Ranch. When we were talking last night, you mentioned that you weren't getting your game sound to your headset. Well, this is a way to do that, right? Because then what you could do is you set up your devices here, right? And then you put your Elgato audio in stream in one of these hardware inputs, and then you click the check mark for your headset one, as well as the one going to your stream. So actually, no, I think that one will be automatic. So you should only have to check your headset one, and it'll send a copy of the audio to your headset. So that should be pretty much all you need. There might be a little ins and outs on that you got to mess around with, but generally that should be all you're going to need to get that going, so that you can hear your console audio while you're playing your game through the capture card. So that's pretty much it for this piece of software. Now for the microphone, as you can probably hear, there's not a lot of background noise right now. And the reason for that is twofold. First reason is I've got the gain down to like the nutting. Like the gain is really like to the lowest as possible on this microphone, but the audio still sounds great. So this microphone is really good for the price. It's a little expensive for like a beginner streamer or YouTuber, but very worthwhile. I definitely recommend the Yeti. So yeah, so first things first, I've got the gain set to 0 on this. And secondly, I'm actually running this through a software compressor to eliminate my PC fans, the noise in the room, any echo or stuff like that. And I'll show you how I do that. So in the software here, in the menu, you can go down to System Settings Options. So in this box here, at the bottom, you've got a patch insert section, which is great. I love this thing. So what you do is, because my microphone is here, it's the first one, right? In one, I enable the patch insert for this. What that does is it creates a device you can link to. So what's going to happen is it's kind of like a patch panel, right? So now, because I've got this turned on, I can now run this through a different program, which will then send it back to here before sending it out to the mixer. It's a little bit hard to understand in that respect, but once I show you the software I use, you'll understand a little bit more. So I use a piece of freeware again, which is called the Image Line. Is it Image Line? I think it's Image Line. Yes, Image Line Minihost Modular. And it's the beta software right now. And as you can see here, this is from Image Line, which is the folks that make FL Studio. So this is pretty much the software. And as you can see here, if you look at it, everything is on this page here. You need to create an account to download it. So go ahead and create an account on this website, and then you can download the software. There's a 32-bit, 64-bit version of it. I run the 64, but it's up to you which one you want to use. So what this does, it allows you to run channels like the patch in here into specific filters. So I'll bring up the software, which I have open over here. And I can shut this down because there's nothing else to show you guys on that. So this is the software here. So as you can see, as I talk, it lights up to show that there's activity. So because I have this turned on here, when I go into my preferences, see here, the device, so I can choose the virtual ASIO for VoiceMeeter here. So that becomes a middleman between the interface here and the output when it actually goes out to the sound card or recording software, that kind of stuff. So this is the in, audio in, and there's the audio out. I've got the proper device set up in my preferences. This is a free piece or a free plugin that comes with the software. And let me open it up here for you. So here's the name of it, REA_Fear _standalone. What that does is it creates a, how do you call it? A noise filter based on the background noise. So for example, if I click this button here and I stop talking and I make no noise and I don't move, it'll then basically just pick up all the background noise and everything going on in the room and create that filter. So I'll show you here. So I'll stop talking here for a second. All right, so now it created a filter. So that filter now is applied against the actual audio going on right now. So now anything below that filter, you don't hear. It filters it out. So in order to get your audio to actually be heard, you got to be above that filter, which isn't hard to do in this case because, yeah, the only thing that's below that are my fans. And that's pretty much how this portion of the software works. So you put this in, you tie it in the in to the out, save the graph, and then anytime you want to stream, I keep it open all the time. I actually never actually close this. But yeah, so it's there, it's available. Sorry for the background noise, guys. That's my cell phone ringing, so I'll need to catch that in a second here. So let me just put this on hold and I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that, guys. I am back and pretty much where we left off here. So that's how this works for the patch insert. So you basically just want to make sure that you've got these two selected. If I unclick this, then I won't be running through this software anymore. So I don't want to mess around with that because I'm afraid I'm going to have to work on it to get it going again. I think it's just standard click and click it back on and it's okay again, but just in case. So this is free software. Link will be below for the Minihost. Same for VoiceMeeter. I'll have the link below and the audio cable as well. And again, please support these developers if you enjoy their products. They've basically worked hard to put this together and make it available to us for free. So I mean, why not support these guys, right? So I know I have, and I'd definitely recommend everybody else too. So now once you've got all this figured out and going, as you can see, then what we want to do, well, actually, there's not much more in regards to a one PC setup. That's pretty much it and what I've used for my one PC setup. So just to know, right, which one, let me close this here, which one you want to use and where you want to send it. And again, you can map it out on paper before you start just to make sure you know what you want to set up. But it's pretty straightforward and I'm pretty sure you'll figure it out pretty quick. But once that's all done, the only thing left really I can show you is if you want to do a 2 PC setup. So in that case, so I was having an issue. For my streaming, I run OBS, my alerts, all that stuff for my OBS on my streaming PC, which is over there. So I wasn't getting those alerts, right? Because my headset is on my gaming PC, so I can hear my video games and I can play. So the issue I was having there, of course, is that whenever somebody would follow or subscribe or send me a tip or something like that, I wouldn't get the audio notification to let me know that that happened. So I was missing a lot of events that were going on my stream. So I had to figure out a way to get that going. So what I've actually done is I'm using VoiceMeeter Banana to do that. So on the streaming PC, I installed the same VoiceMeeter Banana. And in here, they have an option called VBAN, which is basically VoiceMeeter Banana over the network. So in here, if I open it up, so you'll see my internal IP address for this box. And what I did here is I made this an incoming PC. So in the incoming streams, I turned on the first one. The name here has to match what I put down on the other PC in regards to the stream name. And I put the IP address of my streaming PC. And as you can see, there's the port, the sample rate, the format, all that stuff. And then the quality of the network, so basically how many packets do I want to send across. I set it to optimal. I want it to be as high quality as I can. even though it's really just me that's hearing it. And this is the interesting part. So see the destination that says in number 2. What that does is it sends that audio into number 2, which is hardware input 2. Even though I don't have anything selected, any audio coming over the streaming from the streaming PC will show up here. And as an example, hold on, let me see if I have something here I can start. I'm not going to play it long, so like I said, I want to keep myself safe for copyright strikes. But see, so if I start something up over here, this computer, play. Do you see how hardware input number 2 went up? So it's coming over this interface here. On the streaming PC, all I had to do was turn on an outgoing stream, set the source to what I have on mine over there, the one that I want to actually hear, which is my desktop audio. So you just set this to what you want, and then you select, you give it the same name. So this has to be identical or it won't work. You'll get an errors over here. You'll see some lights light up over here. And then you put the IP address of the receiving PC, in my case, this device here, 115, on, and that's what I'd put on the other one. And that's it. And then the quality of the network and all that. So now, whenever OBS on my streaming PC has a sound that plays or anything like that, or if I play music on my streaming PC, I still get it. And then, yeah, so that's sent over here. And again, I can choose where I want that to play. So I could actually create an audio loop by turning this on and sending that audio back over there. Don't want to do that, but you could, right? So it's basically limitless what you can do with this. It's pretty simple software. It works really well. I enjoy it a lot. It's really allowed me to do what I do in on my streams and that. And yeah, so I hope this pretty much gives you guys the insight you need to set this up on your own. If there's anything else you need, any questions, feel free in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them, or create a follow-up video if I missed something. But I think I covered pretty much all of it. I don't think there's anything missing. So that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, feel free. Should be up there somewhere. But yeah, and that's about it. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.